Once you have the large areas drawn in, you're going to go ahead and you're going to start to work on smaller areas. I'm going to be going over eyes and how to draw eyes in this specific picture. So the first thing that you're going to do is any of the boxes that have a lot of information in that you're going to try and work with, you're going to split up into 4 smaller equal boxes. So I'm going to break this box that has part of the eye up into 4 smaller squares. And since the eye is actually in 2 boxes, I'm going to do that to the square that's next to it. So again, that was in box number 7. I'm breaking that box in half vertically and in half horizontally. And then box number 8, I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing. Once I have the boxes broken up, I'm going to start to look at where the eye crosses those areas. Now sometimes I might cover up and just show box number 7 at once. Sometimes I even go and I go down to one of those smaller boxes. So this is the bottom right-hand corner of number 7. I need to make sure that I'm matching where the drawing and where the photograph where I'm working so that I stay in the same place and that I get the correct placement. Sometimes I find that I do pull these off to the side and I put my finger on the photograph. Where does it cross? Okay, so going from box number 7 to box number 8, it's in the top box and it goes across at about the halfway point. Then it crosses and goes down in the left-hand boxes. And then it almost just touches the edge here. And then I can start to look where and how does it need to be drawn. So as I'm starting to put them together, now it's a little bit more like connect the dots. So I'm going to start and I'm going to look carefully at the overall shape of the eye. Now usually the top of the eye is a little bit more curved and the bottom of the eye is a little bit straighter across. Because of my eyes being open so far, because I was trying to show a stressed feeling in this photograph, the bottom of the eyelid is a little bit further open than it would naturally be. I'm going to start to add the crease that's above the eye, and notice the crease above the eye does not always connect at each of the ends. Then I'm going to start to draw the edge of the eyeball, which is right near the tear duct and the outside edge of the eyeball. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start to draw the pupil, the iris, and the highlight in the eye. Now usually you wouldn't see the whole entire pupil and iris. Usually you only see about 2/3 of that. I'm going to draw this on the back of my photo so that you can see this a little bit more clearly how it usually would probably be. And as we start to draw that circle in, you're not going to see usually part of the top of the iris, and then the pupil is concentric to the iris, which basically means it's directly in the middle of the iris. So if I were to draw this off to the side, I call it the donut effect because the center, the pupil is directly centered inside of the iris. It is not an egg where it might float off to one side. So again, I'm going to go back to my photograph. I'm looking specifically at the shapes. Again, I'm going to start to mark where does the pupil and iris cross those different lines that have been made by my box. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start to draw the edge of the iris and then again the edge of the pupil. And then once I have those 2 parts in, I'm going to also look, do I see a highlight? If there's not one showing on your photograph, I would like you to go ahead and add one. Sometimes the photographs are a low quality because we're taking them with our computer, and we want to make it a little bit higher of a quality as we're going ahead and drawing those pieces in.